Hi everyone, it's Sunday, May 2nd, time for another HideNet Week in Review. I'm Vera Dordick. Across the Hide market this week, we saw less volatility even though market fundamentals really haven't changed. Starting with the United States, most steer selections saw prices softly steady for the week. While sales were likely lower than in the previous period, improved positions let some packers keep prices from sliding further. Of course, it was a short holiday week, so slaughter was lower as well, but we'll have to see how sales go in the next few weeks to see if prices remain steady. With regard to steers, heavy Texas was steady again to trade from $20 to $21 on 62 to 64 pound averages. As I said, this was steady and the range was a little tighter by $1. For the cow sector, sellers say there are few bids and even dairy cows have seen interest diminish, although their prices have not dropped as much. U.S. slaughter for the week was just 582,000 because last Monday was the Memorial Day holiday. And with regard to exports, combined raw and wet blue sales were a very healthy 872,000 plus, and shipments were also good at over 626,000. And all of this is really great. And as we said last week, though, we need these levels for a number of weeks before sellers can be in a position to even entertain moving prices upward. In our market observations this week, we take a look back at some hypothetical projections from a year ago that at the time were unthinkable and how they have indeed come to pass and how much of what is driving the supply and demand equation is outside of the market's control. From Brazil, editor Ronald Guiel reports that fresh hide prices remain stable this week despite pressure for lower levels. The TR1 reference price again clung to steady at a maximum of 55 cents per square foot, but Ronald has reports of trades at a lower price. In Argentina, we have reports on declines in the price of cows, which have been stable for some time. In news items, we have reports on lots of industry activities in Brazil, along with news on some brands. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's leather and footwear production was down in April. Colombia's industry saw scant growth in 2019 so far. And of course, we have the news of President Trump's plan to put tariffs on all goods from Mexico in response to the situation on the border where migrants are illegally crossing. Turning to Europe, our editor Andrea Guolo reports that UK sellers are having a tough time concluding sales. And that 36 plus ox on average is under a pound at 90 pence, and a little more can be earned for a better quality hide. This week, all the negotiations are going to be about deliveries beginning in September, so those will be very telling with regard to plans for production levels. The cow sector in Europe is still largely weak, and in part it is hurt by U.S. hides. So while prices were stable, a few origins did see marginal declines. There was no good news for veal skins because tanners have plenty on hand, and we'll have to wait about a month or so to update the scenario for those. In his analysis this week, Andrea looks at the generally unsatisfactory situation in the market, the discrepancies between luxury and the low end, and what that means for tanneries, as well as give us a glimpse at the upcoming fairs. So that's all we have for today, and until next week, good night from HideNet.